Hi there, welcome to my channel mathssl. I'm speaking with Saqib Latif. I told you how to solve these questions. Now, uh, I'm gonna solve these questions to minimize the video, to minimize the length of the video. So, and then I will explain to you how I get to that solution. So, have a look here. The question, this exam type questions. The question says, in the diagram, C is a point on the y-axis. So this is C is the point on the y-axis. Have a look. This is a y-axis. Now, such that A, B, C, D are the vertices of the parallelogram. So the A, B, C, D are the vertices of the parallelogram. So this is a parallelogram. K is the point, which is this is the point, this is the coordinates of the K, and the L is a point on AB. So L is as well the point on AB. This is a point on AB, the side AB, the line AB, such that KL, this KL parallel to CB, so parallel to CB, KL parallel to CB. You can see these both lines are parallel to each other. So the question says here now, first question, calculate the length of diagonal DB. So the diagonal DB, I have the big sketch. You can see quite nicely here. So the diagonal BD, this is the diagonal from here, this vertex to that vertex. So this is the diagonal. He said the calculate the length of this diagonal BD. So I find the length of the diagonal DB. This is a D and B. This is the coordinates of DB. And then I plug it into this formula, distance formula. And then I find the answer 10. So the diagonal DB, the length of the diagonal DB is a 10. Second question, he say calculate the coordinates of M, the midpoint of DB. So must remember the diagonal DB. Let me draw the diagonal for you here. So I draw the diagonal. So he said the length of DB we already found, and now he said the midpoint of BD, so which is M. So the M gonna be in the center here. So he want this one. So the midpoint of DB, which is M. So he looking the coordinates of M. I'll show you how. So now we're looking midpoint of DB, the coordinates of M. So I say M is equal to, I write the distance formula, and then this is the DB, this is the coordinates of D and B, x1, y1, x2, y2. I plug it into this formula, and then I find the answer 0 and -1 after the calculation. Question say, calculate the gradient of AD. So the gradient of AD, he looking the gradient of AD here. So I'm going to show you now. So now I find the gradient of AD. This is the coordinates of A and D, and I plug it into this formula and I calculate and I find the answer 1/2. Now the question says, prove that AD perpendicular to AB. So we need to prove AD, this one, perpendicular to AB. I'll show you how. So these are the coordinates of A and B, and I plug it into this formula, I get the answer -2. Now I write gradient of AD multiply gradient of AB must be equal to -1. So the gradient of AD we earlier found, we have 1/2. Remember, this is the gradient of AD 1/2, and AB is -2. And now we plug it into this formula, and you can see it's also come equal to -1. See the -1 is equal to -1. So which means therefore AD perpendicular to AB. 3.5, the question say give a reason why parallelogram ABCD is a rectangle. I'll show you how. Must remember, in rectangle any corner angle must be equal to 90 degree, then we can say this is a rectangle. So we already proved that the AD perpendicular to AB, so which means this is a 90 degree here. So which means angle A is 90 degree, because these both adjacent sides share the vertex, and the AD perpendicular to AB, so which means this angle A is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, we can say this ABCD is a rectangle because the corner angle A is equal to 90 degree. In the rectangle, you need to prove any one of the corner angle must be equal to 90 degree, and we proved the angle A is equal to 90 degree. So I'm going to say ABCD is a rectangle because it is a parallelogram with one corner angle is equal to 90 degree. Angle A is equal to 90 degree. That's the reason I'm going to give. Question 3.6 says determine the equation of KL in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. So we need to find the equation of KL. KL parallel to BC and the BC parallel to AD. So which means KL also parallel to AD. So I can use the gradient of AD to find the uh, equation of KL, because if both lines are parallel, the gradients are equal. So which means I'm going to use the gradient of AD and to find the equation of KL. So I find the gradient of AD is 1 over 2 we already calculated, and therefore the gradient of KL is going to be equal to gradient of AD. Why? Because of parallel sides. If the lines are parallel or the sides are parallel, their gradients are equal. So now, so MKL also going to be a gradient of KL also going to be a 1 over 2. So now I'm going to find the equation of y is equal to mx plus c. So, so K coordinates I have 0, and I simplify 0 and negative 9 over 4. So obviously K lying on y axis, you can see, and in y-axis x value is equal to 0, so which means this is a y-intercept. So you have x is 0, this is a y value, so you have the y-intercept already with you, so we're going to plug it into the equation. Now c y-intercept, you got negative 9 over 4, positive and negative become negative, so this is the equation of KL, 1 over 2x negative 9 over 4. So negative 9 over 4, this is your y-intercept, and this gradient is 1 over 2. So the last question, he said write down with the reasons the coordinates of C. So he looking at the coordinates of C now. As you can see, C is also laying on y-axis, so which means x value is 0 here. So we only looking the y value here now. Right, so we can find through midpoints. So we can find the midpoint of AC and the midpoint. We already have the midpoint of BDM, and then we can, through midpoint by calculation, we can find the coordinates of C, or by inspection. I go for by inspection. So have a look here. A to D. How you get to A to D? X, first look at horizontal X. If you minus 4 is gonna come negative 4 here, and 4 if you minus 2 is gonna get to 2. How you get to D? So 4 minus 2 is gonna be 2. So we're gonna do exactly same thing here. How you get A to D, and we're gonna get also from B to C. So from B to C, change in X now. So what we did minus 4, so we're gonna minus 4 is gonna be 0 here, and the y you minus 2, you're gonna minus 2 here also is gonna be a negative 2. Now how you gonna write? So from A to D, so if you have from X, the first X, change in X, you minus. If you minus, so the arrow shows left hand side, so minus 4, so you get the negative 4. And from change, and then change in Y, also you minus, so the arrow must show downwards, so you minus 2, so you get the 2. So exactly same thing I'm gonna do here. B coordinates we have 4 and negative 4, C we don't have. So I horizontal change in X was minus 4, so I'm gonna exactly do here as well, minus 4. 4 minus 4 answer gonna be a 0. And they change in X downwards, sorry, change in Y downwards, minus 2. So also I'm gonna minus 2 here, minus 4 minus 2 become minus 6. So this is C gonna be a minus 6. So the coordinates of C is 0 and negative 6, which makes sense because x value is 0 here and is laying on quadrant 4 where is a y is a negative, so the answer is correct. Please like and subscribe my channel. If you have any question, comment below. I will assist you. Have a nice day.